Apple, one of the two marquee tech names set to report earnings after the bell tonight. Join us right now on what he's expecting. David Vogt, UBS U.S. IT hardware analyst. Good morning to you. Help us understand what we should be looking for. What's the big headline that you're waiting to see?
Great. Good afternoon, Andrew. And again, thanks for having me. So we think investors are going to focus on three discrete items going into the print tonight. First, what the iPhone revenue looks like in the quarter, but more importantly, what it looks like going forward. I think investors are immensely focused on the commentary around not only the June print, but the September quarter, and ultimately what it looks like in 2025. Second, I think investors are really focused on the services business. There's an expectation that that's going to accelerate next year as AI becomes a bigger part of the portfolio. So I think Apple is going to have to talk about what they think initially about what the portfolio could look like, what the ecosystem could look like, and ultimately, can it accelerate from the 11, 12, 13% growth that we're seeing currently? And third, I think the most underrated view of what people are looking at going into the print is margins. So the company and other hardware companies have benefited from very low component costs in the last 12 to 18 months. So gross margins going forward, particularly with a new launch, are going to be critical. And so what the company will talk about tonight, we think, is not only give guidance on the current quarter, but talk about their stockpile of inventory, whether it's in DRAM or memory. And so ultimately, I think those are the three things that are going to help dictate the stock. To be fair, I think most investors are already pivoted to 2025. So we'll just leave it there.
What's your target price on the stock?
So we're $190 price target, and we're neutral rated on the shares.
And then, well, so related to that, and by the way, obviously we're sitting at 224, so that would be at least a temporary short, I think, in your mind. But let me ask you this. On the AI front, one of the things we keep hearing is that a lot of the AI features are going to kind of get dripped out over time as opposed to be ready for launch come this fall. How much do you think that's going to matter when it comes to the hardware upgrade cycle?
Yeah, look, I think we've done a lot of survey work, and I think the consumer market is a little bit less enthusiastic than maybe some of my peers on the sell side regarding the adoption of AI. So, for example, in China, we're not going to have Apple Intelligence or even ChatGPT. So that's the second largest market for iPhone. So that puts a little bit of a damper on sort of the consumer acceptance of a Gen AI smartphone. Remember, there's Gen AI smartphones on the market today. Samsung launched their product earlier this year, and we barely saw, a blip up in terms of demand. So the fact that it's going to be dribbled out over this year into 2025, I don't think is what really matters. I think it's the lack of compelling applications, and the ecosystem is a little bit underdeveloped. So we don't think the market's going to be nearly as aggressive in terms of adopting this year and next year as maybe some of our peers think.
Okay, let's go to Seattle. Let's talk about Amazon. What do you think there?
So we don't cover Amazon, so we're going to have to take a pass on that. My colleague Stephen Ju covers Amazon. So we focused almost exclusively on the hardware names and the networking names.
Okay.
So I wish we could comment on Amazon, but we're going to have to pass.
I figured it's a name for today. And let me ask you as a separate question, though. Maybe this touches on the whole ecosystem and it touches the AI piece. We saw these Meta earnings. Everybody's crazy about Meta right now. And one of the questions that I have about that is we were talking about Llama, which is their open source model. How much do you think the possibility of the open source model coming out of Meta actually hurts everybody else? Meaning everybody else who's doing these sort of closed source models, whether people say, we don't need that, we're going to be able to just, base what we're going to do off of what Meta's doing.
So we cover other companies that are more infrastructure platform related, while Apple is much more of a closed ecosystem, to your point. Apple developed their own sort of small language model that has been compressed to run directly on an iPhone. So I think that's the model that works best for Apple. I don't think the Llama model is particularly appropriate for Apple. What I think consumers do want is a small, bespoke model that works in conjunction with Siri. So I think Apple made the right strategy. However, sort of the specs needed to run this are really intensive. So I don't think it's going to really drive demand for Apple. And I don't think Meta's Llama model has any impact at all.